Okay, it is 7 o'clock. I'd like to call our June 9th, 2025 regular board meeting to order. If everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and followed by a moment of silent reflection. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Okay then, that does turn us to the roll call of the board members. I'll turn to our superintendent, Mr. Belleville, for the roll call, please.
Ms. Conrad Zingmeister.
Here.
Mr. Hoffman.
Here.
Ms. Johns.
Here.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yeah, here.
Mr. Smelter.
Here.
Okay, all board members present. Thank you, Mr. Belleville. Moves us on to the minutes of our last meeting, our May 19th meeting, a regular meeting. All board members did have an opportunity to look at those minutes. If there's any adjustments, corrections, additions to the board minutes, if not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Okay, it's been moved by Mrs. Johns. Would there be a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Smeltzer. Question? If not, I'll turn to Mr. Belleville for the roll call, please.
Ms. Johns.
Yes.
Mr. Smelter.
Yes.
Ms. Conrad Zingmeister.
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes. Motion passed unanimous. Does move us 1.6, adjustments to the agenda. Any adjustments to the agenda, Mr. Belleville?
We do have one adjustment this evening. Under new items 5.13, we were anticipating a contract coming from the Muskingum Valley ESC, and we received a draft from them, and we did put that on the agenda, but we received word today that there were going to be some minor alterations to that contract, and their board meeting is tonight. So I would request that the board table 5.13 until the June 23rd board meeting when we have the updated contract.
Okay. Okay. Been recommended that we table then that 5.13 contract then until the June 23rd meeting. I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Been moved by Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister. Would there be a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Hoffman. Question. Question, Mr. Belleville, call the roll call. The board members, please.
Ms. Conrad Zingmeister.
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Ms. Johns.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
Mr. Smelter.
Yes.
Motion passed unanimous. All right, information discussion moves us into 2.1, superintendent updates. Mr. Belleville, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it, and appreciate everyone being here this evening. We have a few guests, and we're excited to have them here, and we'll talk with them here in just a little bit. You'll see on the agenda we have a couple of contracts to approve, and we'll round out our hiring for the next school year tonight. Hopefully it stays that way between now and July 10th, but very happy to have some great hires to bring for the board's consideration this evening. As we get to those, we'll address them as we go through. On the other items in the agenda, we have a couple of contracts with Muskingum Valley ESC and the Fairfield County ESC. These are for services for next year. They're pretty standard to what we had this year, same services. So I can answer any specific questions, but really no changes. Also, contract with the Fairfield County Sheriff's Department for our SRO. Anna does an amazing job for us, and as our SRO, I'm appreciative of that. And just kind of for clarification purposes, this contract is just for Anna. The other three officers who are in our schools are considered school security, and they're our employees. We hire them directly, so they're not reflected in that contract. That is strictly for our school resource officer, who is a current sheriff's deputy. So just wanted to clarify that. And then on the agenda, our insurance rates and providers for 2026, and Ms. Nolan is here and can speak to that as we get to that on the agenda, if there are any questions from board members. So Moving on, want to give a quick update, really just a congratulations, shout out to our men's and women's track teams. Just an incredible weekend of amazing performances. You just, every year, Coach Myers, you wonder how are they going to top what they did last year, and somehow they just reload and just keep elevating that program. It's truly incredible to witness. This year, our men finished 4th overall as a team, our women 10th overall as a team. Just great finishes. Special acknowledgement, Chase Lipscomb was the state champion in the 110-meter hurdles and the 300 hurdles. Also set the state record in the 110 hurdles. So, I mean, you know, in the history of OHSA, to have the best performance ever, that's pretty incredible. So, also Christian Thompson won the high jump. So that brings our total this year to 4 individual state champions and a team state champion cross country. So just an incredible season for our track cross country programs and Coach Myers, obviously the work he does and our kids. So there were a lot of other amazing performances over the weekend. Drew Walton placing in the mile and 2 mile, Avery Cottrell 3rd place finish in the 100-meter hurdles for women. Our 4x4 women's team placed really high. You know, just the list goes on and on and on, and just honestly inspiring watching them go. And when you think about this performance happening after school lets out, that's also really impressive, because it's hard to stay motivated and come and work out every day and be dedicated, you know, after school's out. For our seniors, you know, other kids are taking trips and senior trips and those type of things, and our kids stuck with it and saw the mission through to the finish and just had an incredible showing. So just wanted to acknowledge them and give a congratulations. Budget bill updates. We continue to track and monitor legislation as it works its way through the Senate now. Earlier this evening I sent an email out to staff kind of outlining what we're seeing in the Senate budget. Right now the Senate budget just came out of the Finance Committee last week. There'll be a vote on the Senate floor in regards to the budget next week. We're anticipating that vote June 11th. And then I have a meeting in Columbus on June 12th to break down what comes out of the Senate budget. And then we're looking at roughly around June 24th, the House and Senate will caucus together to hash out the differences between the House version of the budget and the Senate version of the budget, and send that to Governor DeWine by June 25th for his approval. Once it gets to Governor DeWine on the 25th, he can line item veto things. He can reinsert his budget at that process, and then the House and Senate could vote to try to override a veto. So a long way to go between now and June 30th for us to see where the budget finally finishes, but there's a lot there. In addition to the monthly memo I sent out earlier this evening, I just tagged a separate document that had various things that are in the state budget related to education, and I think that was about 9 pages long. Why the budget has so many curriculum related things is truly astonishing, but that's where a lot of things go. Whenever they can't get passed on their own, they just get dumped into the budget bill. So we'll continue to track and monitor that and provide updates to board members and our staff as we have them. So once you check your email for the monthly memo and that attached document, if there are any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and we'll answer what we can. Summer maintenance schedule. Work is happening at a breakneck pace right now. Waxing in the classrooms and painting in the halls and all those type of things at all of our buildings, as well as just maintenance on the grounds. We've had a few little hiccups with weather. Some lightning strikes have played some games with some of our systems. So Matt Smith and his crew have been been working feverishly to get us in as good a shape as possible heading into the 25-26 school year. So just want to thank all those guys for all their work, our mechanics getting the buses ready, IT department getting Chromebooks ready. You think about over the summer, our IT department touches every single Chromebook to make sure it's in good repair and ready to go for students. So it's just a lot of work and upgrading our infrastructure and those type of things. So really appreciative of the work that happens in the summertime. A lot of that goes unnoticed and it's behind the scenes, but you really don't notice it until something doesn't work right. And so kind of unsung heroes working behind the scenes right now to get everything ready for next year. So appreciative of that work. Also, you'll see a first reading of a policy change, policy IGBLA, that is promoting parental involvement in education, and it is another piece of compliance with House Bill 8. Many of these things we already do through our PTOs, through our parent advisory committee at the middle school, our booster groups at the high school. So this would not entail many, if any, changes at all for us, but it is a required policy that we have to have in place. So as you read over that between now and June 23rd, any questions, feel free to reach out and I can answer those as we get to them. So any questions all on the updates? All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Belleville, appreciate the updates, as always, and very informative, so thank you, sir. Does move us to 2.2, the policy revision, first reading. Board members do have that in front of you. Mr. Belleville just touched on it, the policy AGBLA, promoting parental involvement. You have that attachment in front of you, so for us to view as a first reading. So with that, then we'll move on to recognition of visitors. I think anyone's signed in?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Moves us on into the consent agenda section, workshops and conferences, 4.1. You'll see there's a list of three that are going to workshops, conferences in front of you. So as you look through those three items. So the questions are
Those are all fairly standard
standard, Mr.
workshops that
Belleville?
we've attended. in the
Okay.
past.
Okay, pretty standard. Questions for Mr. Belleville in regards to the workshops or conferences? No board members, we'll move into 4.2 then.
We have a donation of $560 from the Hughes family for FFA Camp Scholarship, so we're extremely appreciative of their continued support of all things Fairfield Union, but especially for our FFA programs. And we will make sure we get a thank you note out to
Okay.
them acknowledging that donation.
That's wonderful, thank you. Yeah, that Hughes family's been such a huge donor to this school district. How fortunate we are of their generosity. Okay, there's no questions in regards to the financial items. We'll move into approval of the consent agenda. Motion to approve the consent agenda recommended by the superintendent and treasurer.
So moved.
Been moved by Mr. Hoffman. I'll second that. Question? A question. I turn to Mr. Belleville for the roll call, please.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Ms. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Smelter?
Yes.
Ms. Conrad English?
Motion passed, unanimous. All right, this does move us into the new business section, and then 5.1, teacher contract. Motion to approve a one-year teacher contract from Mr. Travis Kearns, our high school social studies teacher, on salary schedule A, master degree, step 19, beginning the 2025-2026 school year, pending verification of all applications and materials. Mr. Belleville, sir.
And we had 24, 25 applicants for the open social studies position before we took it offline after a week. Incredible response to the position, and we interviewed 7 people, and through those interviews, it became crystal clear to me, at least, that Mr. Kearns was head and shoulders above everyone else we interviewed in terms of experience, performance, and quite frankly, just a level of dedication that is rarely seen nowadays. Mr. Kearns has obviously taught here before, has been away from the district for about 10 years, Travis, is that right? And during that time, over the last few years, Travis has applied for several positions, and it just, the timing didn't work out. And you know, there were always tough phone calls to let him know that, you know, he wasn't getting that particular spot. And to his credit, and it shows his love and dedication and passion for Fairfield Union, no matter how many times I said no, he kept applying. It was really great to be able to say yes this time. We are getting a teacher who has a success rate teaching AP that I've rarely seen. Knowing that we're getting that for our students is really great. My only regret is that, you know, my girls didn't get to have him in class, because I know what level of excellence we're bringing on board, and that is a great thing for our district. It's a great thing for our kids, and ultimately it's really good for our community. Travis has been very involved with the land lab and trying to help out in numerous facets of the district. So, you know, when you can get a great teacher, that's wonderful. When you can get a great teacher and a great person, that's even better. But when you can get a great teacher, a great person who has a true love and compassion for our school district community, it doesn't get any better than that. So, can't recommend this highly enough. Really glad I'm able to bring this before the board for consideration. Mr. Schaefer, anything you want to add?
Echo all of that. I think administratively it's exciting when you sit through conversations and interviews and it's like, this is the perfect fit. You know, it's a perfect fit for our kids. It's a perfect fit inside of that department, inside of the building. You know, talking with Mr. Kearns about some of the impacts he's had recently at Chillicothe gets me really excited for what that looks like bringing him here. So, you know, I'm very excited to see not only what he brings for our kids, but also the impact he'll have on his coworkers in that department and in the building. I think he's going to help, you know, push the needle at the high school all the way across the board.
Mr. Kearns, anything you'd like to say?
I'd just like to thank you and Mr. Schaefer, Mr. DeSadio, Mr. Johns for giving me the opportunity to come back into the district. Having been here before, I know how unique it is as a district to have a community that supports the district, and that's not something that happens everywhere, unfortunately. So I'm excited to be back. Thank you for the opportunity, and I'm excited to be here.
Okay. Mr. Kearns, thank you for your comments. Mr. Schaefer, thank you for your comments. Mr. Beldell, anything from board members? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve Mr. Kearns as a one-year teacher contract to high school social studies.
So moved.
And moved by Mr. Smelter. Would there be a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Johns. Question. Question, I'll turn to Mr. Beldell for a roll call, please.
Mr. Smelter?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Ms. Conrad Zingmeister?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Motion passed unanimously.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, it does move us into 5.2, adjustments to a contract. Motion to approve moving Christopher Turner from step 19 to step 20 on the teacher salary schedule, masters plus 30, beginning the 2025-2026 school year.
Mr. Turner had purchased experience from his time when he worked at Ohio State, and now that that's been completed and we had paperwork of that, just moving him on the pay scale from step 19 to step 20. With our scale, it really doesn't change his salary for next year, but just moves him on that pay scale. So again, that just from him purchasing years of experience from his time at Ohio State.
Okay. I'd entertain a motion then to approve the moving of Christopher from step 19 to step 20.
So moved.
Been moved by Mrs. Johns. Would there be a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Hoffman. Question. The question, I turn to Mr. Belleville for a roll call, please.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Cameron?
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Ms. Conrad Zangmeister?
Yes.
Motion passed unanimous. 5.3, resignation. A motion to approve the resignation of Melanie Toronto as a Bremen Elementary aide effective May 30th, 2025. Mr. Belleville, sir.
Ms. Toronto was coming to us from Lancaster City Schools, and she had worked there the past year, graduated from there, and then immediately started working for them. She was part of their Grow Your Own program, and she just decided that was home to her, and she didn't want to leave. So certainly understand that, and I'll kind of combine this with our next item on the agenda, 5.4. As they say, one door closes, but another door opens. Certainly hate to see Ms. Toronto decide to stay at Lancaster City Schools, but, you know, we are in more than better shape. I am really excited to be able to bring Ben Miller on board as an aide at Bremen Elementary School. I'm extremely hopeful I'll be able to convince Ben to consider teaching as a profession in the future. I think we've seen him working in our schools not only as a coach, but he substituted here at the end of the school year at the middle school and just did great work for us. You know, obviously hard worker, dedicated, shows up every day and gives you everything he has, and you can't have enough people like Ben in your system. And having someone of his caliber at the elementary school is really a godsend. Somebody who can model the right way to do things, both personal characteristics as well as professional characteristics, how to carry yourself, that level of professionalism, and with his coaching background, we know he'll be a great mentor to a lot of our young folks at Bremen Elementary School. And like I said, it gives us an opportunity to maybe get in his ear and convince him to start looking at a teaching license down the road and what that might look like for him. So I'm excited about that, and I know he's going to do some great things down there. So we're extremely lucky that we have this opportunity. So Ben, anything you'd like to say?
I'm just very grateful for the opportunity and ready to give back to the community that's given so much to me already.
Okay, Ben, thank you for your comments. Mr. Belleville, thank you for your comments.
So we'll go 5.3 first.
5.3 first, a motion to approve the resignation of Melanie Toronto as a Bremen aide effective May 30th, 2025. Entertain a motion, please.
So moved.
Been moved by Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister. I'll second that question. Turn to Mr. Belleville for a roll call, please.
Ms. Conrad Zangmeister?
Yes.
Mr. Cameron?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Ms. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Motion passed. 5.4, motion to approve a one-year support service contract for Benjamin Miller as our Bremen Elementary aide, salary schedule 1, step 1, beginning 2025-2026 school year, pending verification of all application materials. Been moved by Mr. Smeltzer. Would there be a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Mr. Hoffman. Question. Turn to Mr. Belleville for a roll call, please.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Ms. Conrad Zangmeister?
Yes.
Ms. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes, motion passed unanimously.
Okay. Mr. Kimmer, before we go through some other things and maybe you dismiss some
Yes,
guests,
indeed.
I would like to speak about one of our supplemental contracts.
Okay. Yes.
While he's sitting here, and he'll kill me for saying anything probably, but, and Lord knows he could do it because of the job we're hiring him for. You know, when Coach Welsh resigned the wrestling position, that was honestly a job that really concerned me. It's becoming harder and harder to find really good coaches who are impactful, not just with their knowledge in the sport, but in the way they lead, the example that they set for their athletes, about doing things the right way. And, you know, so many times in sports today, you know, even teams that are highly successful, their kids don't always do the right things, act the right way, and lead by example in the community. And so that was all. Those were all things I was worried about, you know. And then there are some sports it's inherently harder to find coaches than others. And wrestling is one of those sports. It's difficult to find good coaches, and then it's difficult to find good coaches who represent all of the values that you want instilled in your kids. To say it was an answered prayer is a huge understatement. When Coach Miller decided to throw his hat in the ring to be considered for head wrestling coaching position again, I couldn't say yes fast enough when that was brought to me. His knowledge of the sport is second to none. Many years of successful coaching experience here as a wrestling coach, amongst other sports. But probably most exciting for me is knowing what that program is going to look like. They will do things the right way. They'll carry themselves in a manner that we want our kids to carry themselves in that way. And we know he's going to mold young men to become great future dads and husbands and community members. So just wanted to say how happy I am, how grateful I am that you decided to come back and take that spot, Coach. We'll get to that a little bit later in the agenda, but while you were here, anything you'd like to say, Coach?
Thanks for the pressure.
You're welcome.
I'm excited for the opportunity. You know, wrestling, I think, is, in my personal opinion, is a great sport for helping young men develop. And I'm looking
Fun
forward to
young
that
ladies now as well.
Yes, yes,
Absolutely.
young people. I should get out of there.
Same here, same here.
But just the fact that, or the opportunity to get back out there and try to develop the young athletes, it's exciting. A little overwhelming at times, but it's exciting.
Yeah. I'd like to add just a comment to Mr. Miller. It's a privilege to have you here for you in schools. The students that have been under you, they have to look up to you for the rest of your life. I mean, you know, some of the mentors that I had, you know, I do, and I'm sure, you know, I'm sure the students under you do as well. So it's truly a privilege to have you here, and thank you for your leadership and how you carry yourself. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
So that does move us into the support service contracts. There is a motion at 5.5. So there's a motion to approve a one-year support service contract for Cody Campbell, a Bremen Elementary assistant maintenance employee, salary scheduled J1, step 1, beginning June 9, 2025, pending verification of all application materials.
We're excited to bring Cody on board. We think he's gonna do really good work down in Bremen. He's, lives in the village, and his mom is a school employee as well, so it's always great when, families are involved in the district, and we're excited to bring a younger staff member on board. And I know Rex and Randy and Matt were all highly complimentary of Cody and what they think he can bring to the team. So would recommend we approve it.
Okay. Okay, I'd entertain a motion to approve then. Cody Campbell is our Bremen Elementary Assistant Maintenance Employee.
So moved.
Been moved by Mrs. Johns. Would it be a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Smeltzer. Question. Question. I turn to Mr. Belleville for the roll call, please.
Ms. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Ms. Conrad Zingmeister?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes. Motion passed unanimous. 5.6, leave without pay. Motion to approve a 1.5 days of leave without pay for Holly Culver on May 5th and May 21st, half day, 2025.
This was due to a medical issue, and she had run out of sick days, so I would recommend we approve that.
Okay. Okay. Entertain a motion to approve that. Been moved by Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister. Would there be a second? I'll second that. Question. A question. I turn to Mr. Belleville for the roll call, please.
Ms. Conrad Zingmeister?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Ms. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Motion passed, unanimous. 5.7, personal service supplemental contracts. Motion to approve the personal service supplemental contracts as presented. You'll see there's like 1 through 42.
And these are summer and fall supplementals.
The board members have that in front of you, all those supplementals. There's no question. I would entertain a motion to approve those personal service supplemental contracts as presented.
So moved.
Been moved by Mr. Hoffman. Would there be a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister. Question. A question. I turn to Mr. Belleville for the roll call, please.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Ms. Conrad Zingmeister?
Yes.
Ms. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Motion passed unanimous. With that, before we move forward, anyone that, it will not be disrespectful if you have to step away from the board meeting from this point. You're sure welcome to stay. But it also will not be disrespectful whatsoever if you need to step out at this point. So I just wanted to put those words out there that if you feel that you need to go, please do. It won't be disrespectful.
Appreciate everybody being here. All right, 5.8.
Okay. 5.8, volunteers. Motion to approve the volunteers as presented. You see there's 1 through 13 in front of you for consideration. Looking through the list, these are all volunteers that, as I think Mr. Belleville has mentioned many times, you have to pay to be a volunteer. So.
Extremely appreciative of everyone who's willing to do that. They are vital to the success of all of our programs.
I'm very thankful for those 13 individuals that volunteer in their time and effort and knowledge. So, entertain a motion, please.
So moved.
Been moved by Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister. Would there be a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Smeltzer. Question. No question. I turn to Mr. Belleville for the roll call, please.
Ms. Conrad Zingmeister?
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Ms. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Okay, motion passed, unanimous. 5.9, substitute classified list. I have a motion to approve a substitute classified list as presented.
We have one sub on there, a new sub bus driver, which we're obviously thankful for.
Okay, okay. We do have that attachment in front of us, and so, there's no question, I'd entertain a motion then to approve the substitute classified list as presented.
So moved.
Been moved by Mrs. Johns. Would there be a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Hoffman. Question. Question, turn to Mr. Belleville for the roll call,
Ms.
please.
Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Ms. Conrad Zingweister?
Yes.
Motion passed unanimous. 5.10, educational trip volleyball. Motion to approve Kelsey Turkowski to take the high school volleyball team to the summer camp at Cedarville University, July 9th through the 11th, 2025.
This is a, normal trip our teams go on all the time, and it is an overnight camp, so we do bring those to the board for approval.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the insight. Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Been moved by Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister. I'll second that. Question. Question, I turn to Mr. Belleville for a roll call.
Ms. Conrad Zingmeister?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Motion passed, unanimous. 5.11, insurance rates and providers, fiscal year 2026. A motion to approve the insurance rates and providers that's presented for that fiscal year 2026. I'll turn to Mrs. Nolan, or
For the
sit,
chair.
yes,
Yep.
Assistant
Exciting-
Treasurer, for some,
Exciting conversational insurance.
for some insight. Thanks, Mrs. Nolan.
Okay, all right. So, medical and pharmacy trends are outpacing inflation across the United States. We all know that. It's not a district-specific issue. The industry average yearly rate increase are somewhere between 8 and 12%, is what we've been told. We have not, Fairfield Union has not increased medical insurance premiums since we moved to United Healthcare in 2021, except coming out of COVID in 2022 when we had a 7.5 increase at that time, which is normal for coming out of COVID, as we all know. This year, we are proposing a split increase in fiscal year 26 that will be different by plans. Plan A is our grandfather plan, and we are proposing that it increases by 10%. As a reminder, the board only pays the same dollar amount as Plan B, the 8416 split, per the negotiated agreement, so the employee must pay the balance of that increase. Plan B is to be increased by 3%. During our negotiations with United Healthcare, the underwriting team was recommending an increase of 11.56% across all plans to fund next year's plan. This was, that 11.56 increase would create an additional $543,000, which they say is needed to fund our plan for next year. Currently, Plan B is operating in a positive manner. Plan A is bringing in less money than is needed to pay its claims. We only have 20 employees who are still on Plan A, the grandfather plan. No one is allowed to elect that during open enrollment time, while we have 155 employees on Plan B. So in theory, we would need to double Plan A's premiums to offset the additional funding that's needed for next year. However, it's not feasible, as it would be too large of an increase for Plan A employees to double their premiums. The good news is, we've built a healthy medical fund. Fund balance over the last few years is currently sitting at just over $4 million, and we plan to use some of this balance to fund the increase needed for next year. By increasing Plan A by 10% and Plan B by 3%, that only brings in an extra $184,000 of the $543,000 that we would need. So the balance of $359,000 will come from our current $4 million fund balance, taking it down to roughly $3.6 million. It's still a very healthy balance in our medical fund, but that balance allows us to weather the rise and fall of claim levels from year to year, since we are self-funded. We only had a crystal ball. We'd know how much claims would come in the future, but we do not. And just like, years past, we've had some high years, and so this balance needs to stay healthy in order to fund those things. The share of premium increases and using our medical fund balance puts some of the responsibility on our employees and board, but also allows the medical fund to take on some next year's increases. We understand that health insurance is not just a budget line item, but rather a critical part of employee well-being. And as costs continue to rise, we will continue to take a proactive approach to offer strong, sustainable benefits to our employees. Dental, vision, and life insurance rates will not increase for the next year. They will stay flat. Our insurance providers are not changing. Medical insurance will continue to be through United Healthcare. Dental will be Delta Dental. Vision will be VSP, and life insurance will continue with Equitable Life. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you.
So is there an opportunity to talk to the employees about if they see an increase for the ones that are in A, Plan A? Do you foresee them bringing up questions as what their increase, why their increases, and is there an opportunity that they may switch to Plan B?
Yes. So the opportunity would be in November's open enrollment for January. Everyone always has an opportunity during that open enrollment period. When these rates will go into effect July 1st. Unfortunately, a 10% increase is not considered a significant increase by the IRS standards for Section 125 law to allow them to opt out of it mid-season. So they would have to wait until the November open enrollment period for the January.
What is that increase? Do you know what that increase to get that?
The 10%?
No, the one to
To
issue
make
that
it a
one, yeah.
significant amount,
Oh, I think,
it's more than 50%.
yeah,
Is it? Oh.
yeah, it has to be a pretty
Pretty steep.
significant.
Okay.
Yeah. So they would be able to do that at that time.
Mrs. Noel, was there an increase last year?
We have not. We have not
Then-
had an increase in medical
Like
insurance
4 years.
premiums since 2022 coming out of
Yes.
COVID. And
Okay.
even then, before then, we had not had
Yeah.
increases.
Right.
We've been very fortunate. Our employees are very good at making wise medical decisions on,
Mhm.
what their costs are, and
Mhm.
we're thankful for those employees.
Okay, didn't realize it had been 3 years, so wow.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of places, around the area, they are following that industry average, that 8 to 12% increase. We've just been fortunate that we haven't had to do that.
Well, credit to, to the Treasurer's Department too as well for having such a healthy balance. So we're able to offset some of that, 11.5 to 10% to occur some of that, so, credit to the Treasurer's Department for that as well, so.
Yes,
yeah.
we will continue to try to make those decisions for our employees as best as we can.
Yeah, yep. Okay, any other thoughts or questions for Mrs. Nolan? If not, then I'll entertain a motion to approve the insurance rates and providers as presented for the fiscal year 2026.
So
Been moved by Mrs. Johns. Would there be a second? Second by Mr. Smeltzer. Question? No question. I'll turn to Mr. Belleville for the roll call, please.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Ms. Conrad Zingmeister?
yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes. Motion passed, unanimous. Thanks, Mrs. Nolan.
You're welcome.
5.12, contract, Muskegon Valley ESC fiscal year 2025. Motion to approve the contract with Muskegon Valley Educational Service Center for the fiscal year 2025 retroactive to August 1st, 2024 for student reevaluations. Mr. Melville?
Yeah, we just had to clean up some contract language.
Okay. Okay. Entertain a motion to approve. Been moved by Mr. Smelter. Would there be a second?
Sure.
Second by Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister. Question? No question. I'll turn to Mr. Belleville for the roll call, please.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Ms. Conrad Zingmeister?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer,
Yes.
Ms. Johns,
Yes.
Mr. Hoff.
Yes.
Motion passed unanimous. All right, then, that does move us on to 5.14, with us tabling 5.13. So 5.14, contract, motion to approve the contract with Muskegon Valley Educational Service Center for the fiscal year 2025 retroactive. Oh,
That's
I'm-
5.13.
Thank you. Sorry for the mistake. 5.14, motion to approve the contract with Fairfield County Educational Service Center for fiscal year 2026.
These are all the same services we received this year from the ESC, so just carrying those contracts over.
Okay. I see the attachments in front of us, board members there, so. Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Been moved by Mrs. Johns. Would there be a second? I'll second that. Question. A question, I'll turn to Mr. Belville for the roll call, please.
Ms. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer,
Yes?
Ms. Conrad Zingwester,
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman,
Yes.
Mr. Smelter.
Yes.
Motion passed. Unanimous. 5.15, contract for Fairfield County Sheriff's Department. Motion to approve a contract for security services as a Fairfield County Sheriff. Mr. Belville.
Yeah, this is for school SRO, so
Okay.
Deputy Feasel has done a tremendous job, so would recommend we continue with that.
Okay.
Does this guarantee her specifically?
Yeah,
Okay.
unless something would happen that either the district or the sheriff's department would need to change the deputy, but I do not foresee that.
Okay. I didn't see her name attached to it. I didn't know whether
Yeah,
that was,
They don't put specific names there just in case something comes.
sure, okay.
Okay.
I was trying to think of a situation, if there would, let's say there was a medical need or something like that, they don't want to put a specific name there in case that person is
Yeah.
incapable of doing the job.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. Question?
So what's she do during the summertime?
She works for the sheriff's department. She will still come out here and do some paperwork, especially if there are situations involving juvenile court and one of our students. But all of her hours are served with the sheriff's department, and we don't pay for the summertime
Okay.
unless we specifically request her out here. This contract's just for the school year.
Okay, because it goes to July 1st, 2026.
We're still wrapping up some end of the year stuff, school safety plans, juvenile courts, wrapping up with a couple of our kids who are maybe with them and they need information from the sheriff's department.
So when's this, so it goes from, this ends, like, when's it end? I didn't specifically, is it got an expiration? Since you're saying it's annually.
It does
I
say
don't
186 days though, so that's
Yeah.
comparable to the school year, not a year round.
From, I'm just looking at under section 2.1.1, the breakdown, and it has the months there, in there.
That's just the payments, isn't it?
Yeah,
But it's stating that, she is,
they
for her
spread,
services.
yeah, they spread the payments for us each month
So that's what I'm saying. So
throughout
she's
the year, but
paid in July.
in paragraph number 1, no, that's just when we pay the sheriff's department.
Oh, okay.
She's paid all year round by the sheriff's department. We don't pay her directly. We just pay the sheriff's department. They break up the contract over 12 months. But we have her, in paragraph 1, it's laid out 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, 186 work days out of the year. And then we have some say on when those 186 days are.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister. Any more thoughts, questions, comments?
I move to approve.
Okay, been moved by Mr. Hoffman. Would there be a second? I'll second that. Question? question, I turn to Mr. Belville for a roll call, please.
Mr. Hopper,
Yes.
Mr. Cameron,
Yes.
Ms. Conrad's English,
Yes.
Mr. Smelter,
Yes.
Ms. Jones.
Yes.
Motion passed unanimous. All right. Does move us into section 6, executive session. Motion to adjourn into executive session according to section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Would be in action after coming out of executive.
No action, and we'll be in for number 1.
Okay, and for number 1, okay. Okay. I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Been moved by Mrs. Johns. I'll second that. Question? Question? Turn to Mr. Belville for the roll call, please.
Ms. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Cameron,
Yes.
Mr. Smelter,
Yes.
Mr. Hopper,
Yes.
Ms. Conrad's English.
Yes.
Motion passed unanimous in executive session.